In front of you is the new Renault Duster 2026 and we are in Dehradun to review it for you guys as it is raining heavily, so let's just start directly with the drive. As it has been raining since 10 a.m. and right now it's 2:30, it's 4 to 5 hours. The rain is not stopping anytime soon and we have to go back to Delhi as well. So what we have decided is we will finish this complete drive review from inside the vehicle only. So let's begin with the major thing, the new 1.3 engine. Now why I'm calling this a new one? Because we have experienced the 1 liter engine in the Renault very intensively in the Kiger, but the 1.3 engine was not really tested because it has been not available from quite a time now. But this particular engine, the best part about this is that it is the most powerful in this segment and you feel that power too. It is 160 PS and 280 Newton, 163 PS and 280 Newton meters of torque, which is the highest, the maximum in this particular segment, even more than the Seltos Creta Turbo DCT and even more than the new Hyperion engine by Tata in the Tata Sierra. However, very surprisingly, there is no specific sports mode in this. Because I'm driving the DCT variant right now, this is a 6-speed DCT with wet clutch assembly, that's a huge advantage. But there is no particular sports mode in it. There are multiple drive modes, you have comfort, you have eco, you can use that drive modes from the screen as well. But you lack that thrill and fun when you want it specifically. In eco mode, obviously it drives a little different and it provides you probably a more mileage, which we'll talk about later on. And in power and sports mode, which is missing, it could have been even more sportier. Okay, and I'm quite missing it right now. Overall, the transmission feels really nice because it is a dual clutch transmission and on wet clutch assembly as well. Now the wet clutch assembly means that in traffic conditions and bumper to bumper traffic conditions, when your vehicle is continuously going to be on drive mode or probably in crawling mode, the transmission will not heat. I mean, the chances of getting it heated up and damaging the transmission is very low. However, I still recommend that you keep the vehicle on neutral or probably in parking mode when you know that it is going to be a long halt rather than just bumper to bumper crawling. So that is very recommended to you. One thing good about this one is that you also get idle start stop technology, which means during red lights or probably a long halt, the engine will cut off, which will ultimately help the transmission to be live a little longer. However, the idle start stop technology here is a little delayed as compared to Maruti Suzuki, Hyundai or Kia, because it gives you another millisecond to start the engine. In those cars where the idle start stop technology is available, usually whenever you just lift off your foot from the brake, the engine starts. In this, the case is a little extra. When you put off your foot from the brake, then you press the accelerator. As soon as you touch the accelerator, then the engine starts. So there is a small delay in it. You will get used to it. It's not a complaint, but it is something which is different from the other idle start stop technologies available in this segment. Okay, it works differently. It is not a flaw. By now, probably you must have an idea. The English is not my first language, so I'm struggling in getting the right vocabulary because since 2019 or 20, I've been reviewing cars in Hindi language itself. So I'm better in that. If you want to watch a Hindi video, if you're comfortable in Hindi, please watch that out. And if you are comfortable in English, please watch this video till the end. And your support is much needed because ultimately our English will also get better and the vocabulary will be get better with practice. And let's move on to the suspension. Again, it is not a very city friendly vehicle because in cities, potholes and speed breakers are going to be a little jerky, right? Because of the suspension setup is quite stiff and it is required for a weighted SUV because Renault Duster specifically feels much more planted and weighted as compared to the other Renault cars available in the market. Now this is completely different and it's highly appreciable by a company that they have not cost cutted for the weight or overall for the mileage. They have not reduced the weight of the vehicle, they have maintained it, and I am personally liking the fact that you feel a good solid built SUV with SUV feeling as well in driving dynamics. Because it is heavy, it is planted, it gives you quite a good confidence on the highways when you're doing triple digit speeds or probably cornering, or even in the hills when you're driving, because as now we are in Dehradun and we've been driving this vehicle from 7 a.m. in the morning, and we have drove a little bit above 200 kilometers right now, and we have experienced that this particular car can handle corners very easily, and it feels like a good vehicle to drive. Okay, and I'm glad Renault gave us this opportunity to drive this vehicle for a long route, and for the proper hills. Of course, it is quite different. Not many brands do this, and the Renault brand was quite confident about the Duster that this will excel here. However, the only sad part is that if you're going to drive this vehicle only based on cities, and your city has potholes and too many speed breakers, then you might feel it a little uncomfortable. I would say that if your concern is comfort, the Sierra, Seltos and Creta will provide you much better comfort than this one. But again, highway stability also matters. For that, I think Duster will give you a more SUV premium feel. Now comes another sad part. NVH, noise, vibration, harshness. There is a constant noise of engine and the turbo engine, which turbocharger, which might be a little annoying when you're not listening to any music, when you're just cruising at 10, 20, 30 kilometers per hour. I'm quite surprised that why is this noise even coming if I'm driving at 10, 20 kilometers per hour in a constant speed. I think the turbocharger should not be activated all the time, but it is, and it is making some sound. Ooh, chilli, nice. Sorry. It is making a little bit of sound, which is what I'm finding very annoying right now. If I put on some music, if I drive above 60, 70 kilometers, the wind noise will cancel it. It is a very minimal noise, but people with those OCD will definitely feel this a lot. But overall, because of the 4 cylinders in this engine, you will feel that it is quite refined. You won't feel that struggling, stupid, annoying sound of, loud sound of an engine, because this engine can really handle good power, good incline with weightage as well. Because again, the brand is also providing 50 kg load carrying capacity roof rails, which is very rare, and people usually don't provide it, and the brands usually give it for just for cosmetic updates or cosmetic what do you call it, those roof rails are not functional, so those are just cosmetically, it enhances the look of the vehicle. But in this case, in Duster, you get bridge type roof rails with proper roof load carrying capacity, that is 50 kg. So that is a very good point. You can actually travel with 5 persons, put on some really heavy luggage over. Of course, you maintain the load carrying capacity, and of course the private vehicles can carry luggage carrier, but it has to follow some rules. So the government never actually banned private vehicles to carry luggage. They just banned those load carriers which were permanent welding and everything was required to do so, and they were losing around. People were not carrying it very carefully and safely. That is the thing which government banned. So for detailed information on how you can actually carry luggage on your roof rails on a private vehicle, please watch our Instagram, and we have made a good descriptive reel about it. So please do watch it. Here's the username in front of you. Now talking about the overall braking experience, good part, all 4 disc brakes, amazing feel, amazing confidence. However, cost cutting for the manual lovers, because if you are opting for a manual 6-speed manual in the Duster, you are going to get drum brakes at the rear, which is not acceptable. Why this partiality, Renault? Why? And also, there's also a good thing about this, that manual transmission is also available in the top variant. Usually, if we talk about other cars, even the Sierra is not even available in manual transmission with the new petrol turbo engine. But even for the other cars, many cars in this segment are not available in manual transmission for the top variant with all the features. So you get ADAS in the manual, only the adaptive cruise control is not available obviously, and other than all the functions of ADAS, all the features of automatic manual is available. Just 2-3 more features, paddle shifters, again obviously because you're not you don't have an automatic transmission to shift the gears from pedals. In terms of visibility, I'm liking the fact that both of these seats are electrically adjustable, so you can have a good view of what is coming, and even the co-passenger can adjust the height of this seat, which gives it an added advantage because in many cars the height adjustment is not available for the co-driver, and I personally believe that it's a very good thing for the co-driver. For the passengers, they can get a good view according to your height. And in terms of driving position height, I believe this actually gives you a very bulky, big SUV look. One thing. Second, the bonnet scoops, which are provided in a very aggressive way. When you look at them from this driver's angle, you feel that you are driving a true big SUV, a curvy, aggressive SUV. Not a flat bonnet is available here. So that particular groovings is also providing me a very good feel. So these small things might not make a difference for you, but they are making a difference for me, especially when I'm sitting on the driver's seat. And overall, IRVM bezel-less, ORVM good size, rear ADAS features are also present, and of course front ADAS features are also present. However, I have a complaint to Renault that the lane keep assist is not working very well. Even when it was not raining, we tried it, and it says that it doesn't say, but it works beyond 70 kilometers per hour, and I don't believe that it's a good speed. The lane keep assist should work from at least 30, 35 to 40 kilometers per hour. One thing. Second, even on 70 kilometers per hour, it was not able to manage to keep in the lane and to detect those lanes, because in the animation here, the lanes were very clear, very straight road, but on the screen, it was not able to detect the lanes. I do not know why. So that is a big drawback with this, because if you are looking for an ADAS SUV, then you have to reconsider about the Duster. But probably with a software update, they might update it, and they might upgrade and improve it and fix it. And I actually really wish to use and explore these ADAS features on a straight highway road to get a more idea about it, to get more clarity on it, so that I can provide you with proper answers. So do wait for that. I'll ask Renault to provide the Duster on the highways as soon as possible, so that we can test the ADAS features, because I don't think Renault made a mistake. It must be something else. Renault is not a brand to make mistakes, these type of mistakes. So that is a good brand overall. One thing is very clear: on highways, on cities, whenever you want to overtake, it is very easy. The engine is responsive. Obviously, the transmission delay is there, but the engine is very responsive. And if you're really a car enthusiast, or you want a driver's car, try the manual transmission. You'll love it. You will genuinely love it. Not just because of the engine, the overall driving dynamics, the handling, everything. Just beware of the potholes, and sometimes the road is very bad, and you will have a very bad experience of that, because the suspension is not the best in the segment in terms of comfort, but in terms of stability and confidence, I feel it's a good one. Other than that, the steering feels also really nice. It is a little on the heavier side, but it gives you again a very good driving feel. Second point is, other than just the steering or engine, I would say the digital cluster is also appreciable. There are 2-3 things. See, it's not a regular digital display, it is something special. One thing is that it provides the navigation on the go. So you don't have to rely on this screen for the navigation. This screen can be used for any other purpose, like music, videos, probably some settings. And the map is for the driver, and which is why the map is displayed on the driver's display on the cluster. Second thing, for example, I have turned on rain sensing wipers. So it also shows that, not just that it has been activated, it is continuously showing here that the rain sensing wipers are on, and even on the headlights are, automatic headlights are on, and it shows that too. So that particular thing, I believe it's a very good thing. It's a very small thing to have on a software based screen, but it is actually commendable. Other than that, obviously all the informations are provided here very well. The fuel economy, there's also a gyroscope here for the driving dynamics on the screen. That feels also nice. I'm not impressed by the 360 quality, however, that feels a little low according to this segment. I feel that would have not increased the cost too much, but it could have been made the customer very happy if the 360 camera was nice, but it is not, unfortunately. So there's also one more quite different thing in this one, that the music controls are on the fob right side, not on the steering. The steering on the left side has cruise control functions, and the right side it has menu navigation for the cluster. But if you want to control the music other than from the screen, there is a special knob for it to increase the volume, to increase, it's like this. It is changing the FM stations. It has buttons, it has volume, it has everything. But the only problem is, I'll tell you, wait, let me just decrease the volume bit, it might get me a copyright. The thing is, unfortunately, that's a very big drawback, okay? Try to listen it to very carefully. When I'm driving and I'm not turning my steering, I cannot see the volume controls or the music controls at all. It is behind the steering. That is a big drawback, because if I'm not familiar exactly which button does what, if I'm not sure about the function of these buttons, I will have to look like this and I will be distracted from my drive, one thing. Second, or I'll have to stop the vehicle and check, because if I'm turning the car, then I can see this one. If I'm driving straight, the fob is completely hidden. So I am not appreciating this thing that the music controls are hidden, because I personally believe that even more than ADAS feature button, even more than menu navigation button, you need to use the music controls. You might need to change the source from Bluetooth to FM to Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, or you might have to change the volume. That is the most basic thing. And volume button is directly not present here. You have to press on the screen for the music, then it goes on sources and volume. No, this is the sound setting and ambient sounding. There is no particular switch here to increase or decrease the volume. There is no switch here, of course, on the center console. So you have to stick on these controls, which is actually not accessible, or probably not, I'm not able to view it. So that's a big drawback for this car, honestly. Okay, one correction. There are music control, the volume control is present on this screen. Actually not on screen, but above the screen. On the screen, these are physical buttons to control the volume. You can press this power button to minimum, display or standby, and you can use this minus plus button to increase or decrease the volume. You cannot change the source, you have to press on the music button and click on source to change the source. However, you can control the music from here too, the volume from here too. But again, this is not very friendly. I would have suggested a knob, or probably controls on the steering would have been nicer. I think the cruise control modes could have been shifted to the fob, because that is quite easy and we do not really use it often as compared to the music system. Talking about the mileage, very important point. So the turbocharged character, I feel we are driving this for quite a long now, and I can easily say that in cities you can get above 10 to 11 kilometers per liter very easily if your driving is good. If your driving is harsh, you like to overtake every other vehicle and you want to feel like you're a racer, then obviously you're going to get around 8 to 9 kilometers per liter. But if your city is not very trafficy, then you can drive it on a constant speed. And the character of a turbocharged engine is when you drive it smoothly on a constant speed, probably 30, probably 40, and you're not accelerating and braking too hard, then you get a very good mileage. Then you can get a very good mileage with this Duster at 13-14 kilometers per liter too. However, on the highways, when you're driving 80, 90, 100, then you can probably get around 17 to 19 kilometers per liter. If you go beyond 100, then there's a pressure on the turbocharger, which ultimately will drop your mileage to around 16 to 18 kilometers per liter. But now it all depends upon your driving as well. It depends upon how many persons are sitting, it depends upon the weather, it depends upon the condition of the vehicle, fuel, weight, everything else, tire pressure. So you have to keep that in mind too. I like one thing about the screen, that the home button is actually straight away goes to the Google map, because it has Google inbuilt. It is a very good thing. You get connected features, you get Google's Assistant, you get Play Store, you get Prime Video, you get YouTube. Obviously you have to stop the vehicle to play videos, but music, multiple applications are available. You don't have to connect your phone to the screen at all. I have not connected my phone, but still I'm able to use the music applications. I'm still being able to use the maps and Google Assistant as well. I'm giving voice commands here too. and that is a very good feature to have. Obviously, you can always connect your phone. You can have the Android Auto or the Apple CarPlay, because they work a little different. You can text, you can message, you can WhatsApp, you can read messages, you can navigate through your saved addresses, and etc etc. But again, for basic things like navigation, like music, you don't have to connect your phone at all. So Google has been in this. Now this is also first in the segment. Usually we see Google inbuilt in Volvo cars. Again, good thing. So I'm quite skeptical about the overall Duster, because some things are really good, some things are really bad, like the music control. So you also have to keep that in mind. Now, as we cannot do a complete walk around because of the rain, what I could do is I can share my opinion and my feelings, and we'll play some videos here for you. So I'll talk about the major feature list, because the feature list is very huge. You get a huge panoramic sunroof, you get a huge boot space of 700 liters up to the roof, and up to the parcel shelf it is around 518 liters, which is still huge. You get 60-40 ratio split seats, you get leather 8 seats, you also get very nice stitching. Overall, you get very nice carbon fiber finishing with leatherette material. The ambient lighting is 64 color supported for the ambient light. For the touchscreen, very bad hum. For the touchscreen theme, for the cluster theme, all you can do is just press with some touches. You can switch to a very nice theme of your own. Of course, you get the ADAS level 2, which I talked about. 360-degree camera is not so good, but you have it. Overall, these seats are ventilated, and of course, these are powered as well. Again, first in segment, I won't say first in segment, Creta King Edition has it. Both of them are powered and with welcome function. So Creta is a little superior, and obviously it costs a little more too. The Creta's cluster is not this advanced, honestly. It is good. It has nice tweaks. It has nice theme and everything, but this is a little better, little more newer. I overall like 2-3 things about this vehicle. That the fog lamp placing is very nice. It actually helps you in the fog and in the rainy season too. Obviously, the LED headlamps are also quite nice. We have been using them during the day, but during the rain and in shade as well. So we quite like it. One thing. Second thing is, we also liked the front and rear parking sensors, which are actually very good, and they are very helpful, especially in bumper to bumper traffic, parking lots, tight parking spots. So it prevents your car to get scratches, of course, and it overall helps you drive well too. So I really like the concept of side parking sensors in front and rear. Front are one thing, but side parking sensors are amazing. Then we have a good music system, not the best in the segment obviously, but it is overall fine. We also have hydraulic strut for the hood, which means you don't have to fiddle with the stick. And I've learned this fiddle word from Power Drift. I think those are the most major features I've already talked about. Please watch our walk around video, detailed walk around video, for a more thorough information on these things. Talking about the warranty of this vehicle, 7 years is an extended warranty. It does not come standard with the vehicle. The standard warranty is still 3 years, and 1,50,000 kilometers seems a little less when we compare it with 7 years. And Tata provides around 3 years, 1 lakh kilometer for standard, and Kia, Hyundai, they are providing I think 3 years with unlimited kilometers. Now that's what confidence really is. But the good thing about the 7-year extended warranty is that it is also transferable to the second owner of this vehicle. Now that gives you good trust. Now let's talk about the value for money variant. See, the base variant is not at all value for money, because the price is right, but the features are less. I never wanted the vehicle to go below 10 lakhs, because then it could have get a tag of a cheap SUV, a cheap car. And I'm glad that the brand decided to go beyond 10 lakhs at 10.29 lakhs right now. But they should have added a little bit of more features, like a push start stop button, a rear camera, a screen and speakers, just like the Seltos, or push start stop button just like the Sierra. So that could have made a very big thing impact on the base variant, but probably I think the brand does not want to sell the base variant, because the Evolution and Techno variant are quite value for money. We have also made a detailed value for money variant explain video on the Renault Duster. Please have a look on that, so that you can get a very good idea which variant to buy and which variant is the one for you. Because for some people, the 1 liter turbo petrol base variant could be the best, but probably for some people the top variant manual transmission could be the best. It all depends upon your requirement, and in that video I've talked about all the requirements, all the needs. Whichever suits you the best would be the new Duster for you.